Hey film friends, I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman on Film. Welcome to the channel. Alright, here it comes. We've got the director behind some of the most inventive, original films going in the last decade plus. I mean, real themes inside nifty sci-fi like the dangers of AI, the outcome of environmental abuse, and the generational nature of toxic masculinity. Sorta. I mean, that's what Men was about, right? Now he's going after modern partisan extremism and the politicians who foment violence and revolt. Ooh, this is gonna be so juicy. In-your-face provocation, baby. Is that what it really is? Well, guess you'll have to stick around to see. This is Alex Garland's Civil War. Well guys, this is going to be a fun one to jump in and get our hands dirty on. Let's start here. Here's the too long didn't read for you all. Truthfully, I don't know if I've ever seen such a well-crafted film so utterly devoid of fully formed ideas. What is Civil War? It's a travelogue, a road movie, the streamlined story of a bunch of photojournalists on a trek to get to D.C. before all hell breaks loose between warring factions and the sitting third-term president. As such, it's almost a series of vignettes. Little episodic scenes and sequences, firefights between nameless people, and a whole lot of images. I think the real path to ultimately deciding how we feel about Civil War is in analyzing its themes. Now I'll begin with the easy one. Civil War is a picture about the importance of journalism. It holds them up to us and seems to say, look at these guys, look at their guts and bravery going into the fray. They are important, but also, man, they can really be vultures and voyeurs, can't they? They'll chase anything for that one shot in story. They'll even capture death throes if it'll print. So early on, Garland, like in his previous films, is back on the image train. Images as propaganda, photographers as truth tellers and faithful reporters. We record so other people ask, you want to be a journalist? That's the job. That's Kirsten Dunst early on in the film, begging off any question of the morality of snapping pictures of atrocities. But the tougher themes discussion is, what is this really all about? Why? Because we have no idea. There's no information about what started the conflict or who's who here. Garland both sides this movie so heavily, and he even tips his hand when he has Texas, think red, and California, think blue, in a coalition against the middle states of the country. In a completely memorable sniper versus sniper sequence, which is just amazing, one of the men says this: someone is trying to kill us, we're trying to kill them. That's it. We don't even know who they are. So maybe the real theme is that Garland is terrified of extremism in all forms. The relentlessly partisan ways of seeing the world that have made communication across the aisle damn near impossible in recent years. It's as if he seems to say these poles of red and blue may not be as far apart as we think. And if we don't stop the path we're on, things could get really ugly. Fortunately for all of us, there are so many things for us to like about this film. I'm really just so thankful that Alex Garland exists. Civil War is the biggest budget film that A24 has ever released at $50 million. And that shows up on every shot of this work. This is a fully developed world with border patrols, riots, bombings, devalued US currency, and even places in Middle America where nothing seems to have changed at all. Garland's work is filmmaking on a riotously high level. The staging of some of the war sequences and set pieces will blow you away, and the sound design will actually cause you to jump out of your seat in a few places. The soundtrack is actually in keeping with this as well. We get tracks by Suicide, De La Soul, and Sturgill Simpson placed way up in the mix, with wordless images and events unfolding underneath them. Just walls of sound that work because the film is about the process of image making. And many of these little vignettes are so memorable they'll be seared into your brain. I've already mentioned the sniper battle, but the Jesse Plemons cameo a little later on is unreal. It's the most tense, exhilarating, and honestly terrifying scene I've seen in a film all year. Besides these things, Kirsten Dunst just rules in this movie. She says very little out loud. It's all just worn expressions and face acting of the highest caliber. I thought the budding relationship between Dunst and Kaylee Spaney, who was also excellent here, features some of my favorite moments of the entire film. Well, I said this at the start. Here's a film that basically has very few fully developed ideas. The POV of the main characters is intentionally very limited, so it's pure viscera and the immediacy of violence moment to moment, alongside literally nothing provocative. So I guess I feel two types of ways about this. Garland's choice to remain amorphous here is either A, brilliant, or B, surprisingly toothless. If it's the former, it's because you don't actually have to name drop Donald Trump and the FBI, the killing of Osama bin Laden, or the January 6th uprising, because we will all just download our own experiences of American politics into this anyway. This leaves Garland free to keep us locked in with his amazing filmmaking chops without ever exploring the deeper why. But I've got to say, I think there is a better film here that's about 20 minutes longer than this one. It gives us real, non-stock characters alongside the flesh and blood and ammunition and war crimes. It develops the beautiful mentor and mentee relationship between Dunst and Spaney further. Characters would have backstories who moved our empathy past the surface level. Now, it's my suspicion that Garland feared doing this would ruin the rapidity of just giving us 4 people zipping from one crazy experience to another in a war-torn world. My point is that all of the speed and movement is meant to be disorienting and faceless. And further, that Garland is attempting to make an anti-war film that harrows far more than it entertains. But the bottom line is I just care more about your messaging if I care more about your characters. And I care about the conviction of your message if it's a little less spineless and a little more full-throated. Sorry, those are just going to be the facts every time. So, what do we conclude? Civil War is just A+ craftsmanship on a larger budget, a testament to Alex Garland's masterful growth in filmmaking, boasting stunning visuals and immersive world building, alongside gripping action sequences and standout performances all around. Yet the film falters in its exploration of deeper themes and character development, raw, visceral intensity over fully baked themes. Still, in the end, Civil War's gut-punching conclusion and impact make it a riveting entry in the sci-fi genre. Well, there you have it. The only thing left to discuss is our rating for this picture. FOF gives Civil War 3.8 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed this review, please let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Also, don't forget to visit FurmanOnFilm.com for even more movie content. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman on Film. Stay firm, my friends. Sorry, I just gotta get myself in like film mode. So tired.